Hello, my name is Kurt Lieber. I'm president and founder of Ocean Defenders Alliance. As most of you in California already know, there's been a huge spike in the numbers of whales becoming entangled in fishing gear over the last couple years. Up until 2013, there was an average of 10 confirmed entanglements every year. But it started increasing in 2014 and shot up to a record of 71 in 2016. This is happening to endangered species like the humpback and gray whales. There are a lot of different gear types that can be a problem for whales, things like nets, crab pots, and lobster traps. The crab and lobster fishery make up about 50% of the total entanglements in a year. The opening day of lobster season starts around the first week of October every year and ends in March. The traps can be set anywhere in the open ocean, except in restricted areas. In 2011, California set aside 16% of our coastal waters as MPAs, which is the acronym for Marine Protected Areas. These areas have varying degrees of protection, from limited commercial or recreational fishing allowed to no-take zones, which don't allow for any fishing or take of any sort. Laguna Beach is fortunate to have a 7-mile stretch of its shoreline set aside as a no-take zone. Thanks to this designation, the marine wildlife is seeing a wonderful increase in fish and invertebrates. Not just the average size of each animal, but also the numbers of animals has increased exponentially. Because there are so many more animals in these sanctuaries, a lot of the animals move in and out of the zones to forage and do what they do best: swim. This means they don't know what a boundary is, but the fishermen certainly do, and they set their boats right along the border and throw their lines or traps right there. Fair enough. MPAs are intended to increase fish and shellfish populations. Seeing all the fishing activity along the edges of them seems to show that they are working. But some of these borders are so densely packed with traps that they can dramatically increase the likelihood of a whale, dolphin, or turtle entanglement. To give people a perspective on how this looks to a whale, ODA's volunteers have been documenting different areas of the California coast where high densities of these traps and pots are set. Our first project started along the southern border of Laguna Beach's MPA. On November 12th, Jim Lieber, Lisa Davis, and I took one of our boats out there and motored about 30 feet away from the nearest trap. From there, we moved out to sea using our GPS system to mark the location of each trap set. We counted about 130 traps along a distance of roughly 0.4 miles. Each dot on this map represents one trap. ODA volunteers Walter Marty and Jim McKeeman went back to the site the following weekend and filmed the line of trap markers, both above and below the water. As you can see, the traps are set very close together, with most being 20 to 30 feet apart, but some of them are 10 feet apart. Each trap has one line going to the surface. That line is what can wrap around a whale's tail or fluke or body. The wingspan on a humpback whale is about 50 feet. While there, they also found an abandoned trap, set 2 lobsters free, and then disabled the trap so it couldn't catch any more animals. It's really important from an ecological perspective to make sure that the big lobsters go free. Why, you might ask? Lobsters can be taken when their carapace length exceeds 3.25 inches, when they are roughly 7 to 11 years old. Young females can carry 120,000 eggs, but if allowed to live longer, say to 15 years, those big ones can release 680,000 eggs. Females live to 20 years old on average, and the males to about 30. If you want more lobsters, we need to let the big ones live. Here's one that Walter found and released a couple of years ago. Talk about a whopper! Part of what ODA is all about is informing the public about what is going on underwater, with the hope that you'll take an interest in our oceans and come away with a better understanding of what it's like to live the life of a whale. What you're seeing here is a gray whale that was filmed by a young lady named Rebecca Ziegler a few years ago. She was in a spot called Divers Cove, which is about 3 miles north of where the rest of this video was filmed. They swim through kelp beds all the time on their migration and are not used to man-made things hanging in the water. Seeing how potentially dangerous this situation could be, we are hoping that the entire community, everyone, and from all perspectives will work together to fix it. ODA has ideas and solutions to share, so as a society, let's save our whales by addressing this issue now. Please get involved and join our efforts.